Hi, McGee. I hope you guys are all healthy and having fun at home. I have a story here that I'm going to read, and it is called Young Frank Architect. This story is about a famous architect named Frank Lloyd Wright, who was born in Wisconsin. An architect is someone who designs and creates the plans for buildings. So let's see what this is about. Young Frank's apartment is on the top floor of this tall building. He is an architect. He lives with his spotted dog, Eddie, and his grandpa, Old Frank, who is also an architect. Young Frank makes things. He uses anything he can get his hands on. Macaroni, books, dishes, spoons, dogs. Wait, dogs? Not Eddie. Yes, even Eddie, but only sometimes. One morning, young Frank made a chair using toilet paper rolls. Said Old Frank. I don't think architects make chairs. And you can't really sit on this one, can you? I guess not, said young Frank. He also made a skyscraper out of books. Buildings should be straight, said Old Frank, not twisted and wiggly. Hey, are those my books? Just before lunch, young Frank designed a whole city. Said Old Frank. Cities are made one building at a time and take hundreds of years. At lunch, young Frank said, Grandpa, I'm not sure I want to be an architect anymore. Said Old Frank. I know. Let's go to the museum. I think it will be very good for you to see the work of some real architects. Don't you? I haven't been to the museum in years and years, said Old Frank. Me neither, said young Frank. They saw lots of things, including a wiggly chair designed by an architect named Frank. Old Frank looked at it sideways. A twisted tower by an architect named Frank. Old Frank cleaned his glasses. They also saw a giant model of a whole city designed by another architect named Frank. Are all architects named Frank? Asked young Frank. I don't think so, said Old Frank. When they got home, Old Frank said, architects really do make chairs in twisted towers and cities too. I guess I was wrong. That's okay, Grandpa, said young Frank. Even I don't know some things. That evening, young Frank and Old Frank made chairs. Chairs with zigzags, chairs with crazy legs, a little chair that was perfect for Eddie. They made buildings of every shape and size, tall ones, flat ones, round ones, and made one from chocolate chip cookies. Eddie, don't eat the library, said young Frank, and please get back to your chair. When they were done, they had a whole city. Woof, said Eddie. Shh, Eddie, said young Frank. Stay until I tell you. Good boy. Later that night, when young Frank was tucked in his bed, he felt a bit older, like a real architect. For his part, old Frank felt younger and a little wiser. And that's the end.